ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परम ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Om. Dear friends, in the last class I explained the first shloka, that is Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana tat kim karmani ghore mam niyojesi keshava. So we have seen how we have to dissect a sentence. Dissect in the sense we have to break up the sentence into individual words and then see the connection among words. So as I said, our objective is to know the words completely and also to know the meaning. We should not dwell too deep into the grammatical aspect of the words. We have to know the meaning. We have to relish the meaning rather. We have to relish the meaning and not only relish the grammar, not merely relish the grammar. So that is the objective. So here let us go to this shloka. The first shloka was by Arjuna. Arjuna was asking Krishna, you see, what was that thing? Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana. If in your opinion, or if you consider that karma is something which is inferior to jnanam, or jnanam is something which is superior to karma, if you deem so, then why are you pushing me into this mode of karma, into this channel called karma marga or karma yoga? So that was his question. And then he is following it up by another statement. He wants some more clarification about that. So that is what is the question, is the shloka here. So here he says, the second shloka reads like this: Vyamishreneva vakyena buddhim mohayasiva me tad ekam vada nishchitya yena shreyoham apnuyam. So that is it. That is the shloka. So the first thing we have to do is to split up. So this Vyamishrena iva. Vyamishrena iva. Vakyena, it does not split. Then buddhim does not split. Mohayasi iva splits. Mohayasi iva. Me, as it is, mohayasi iva me. Tadekam, this tadekam splits. Tat plus ekam. Vada does not split. Nishchitya, yena. This shreyoham apnuyam we have to split. Shreyaha aham So this is way. So Shreyaha aham apnuyam. So this is how we have split. So now let us see where is the verb. Vyamishreneva vakyena buddhim mohayasi iva. So where is the verb here? Mohayasi is the verb. Is there any other verb? Tat ekam vada. Vada is another verb. You tell. Nishchitya yena shreyaha aham apnuyam. So there are two words here, two verbs here. So this first verb connecting with what? Mohayasi. What is the meaning of mohayasi? Mohayasi means you are trying to confuse, you are trying to delude, you are trying to cause some confusion. So that is the meaning of mohayasi. You are bewildering me. Of course, me has not yet come. Mohayasi means you are bewildering, you are deluding. Then he says, Mohayasi iva. Iva means as though you are deluding. As though you are deluding whom? Me buddhim. So suppose we give this number, Mohayasi iva, as number 1. Is there a reading? Suppose we say Mohayasiva, you give the number 1. Then what is it that you are deluding? Me buddhim. My buddhi. Me is my, mama. Me is mama. Mama another form, aham. Aham shabda. Me is shashti ekavachanam, isn't it? The Shashti Ekvachanam is mama, my buddhi, that is my intellect. Me buddhim. Buddhim is in Dvitiya Vibhakti. Buddhim mohayasi. You are deluding my intellect. Then why, by what? How are you deluding my intellect? You are deluding my intellect by some vakyena. By some vakyena. Vakyena means by some statement. Vakyam means statement. Some statements, a group of words is a statement, isn't it? A group of words is a group of words is a sentence. So of course Krishna has not merely told one sentence, he has told so many sentences, all that collectively we are saying vakyena. By so many words we can say. Then you are mohayasi me buddhim. Mohayasi iva, as though you are deluding my buddhi. By doing what? Vakyena. By some type of words, by some type of statements. What type of statements? Vyamishrena iva. This Vyamishrena iva, this is the next connection. Vyamishrena iva means as though mixed up, as though it is something which is mishra. Mishra means mixture, isn't it? Mishra means mixture. Vyamishrena iva, as though mixed up, as though there, say, what is the meaning of Vyamishrena? As though conflicting, as though conflicting, as though contradicting. Say, because Krishna is saying in the second chapter, what did Krishna say? He has extolled the path of jnana. He has said the path of jnana is supreme. Then he has also told about karma yoga. So then he asked Arjuna, you follow this karma yoga. So it is something which is perplexing to Arjuna. You have shown a very nice path. You have also shown a thorny path, and you are asking me to go on this thorny path. Why are you asking me? I am your dear friend. So that is the tone. In fact, the Bhashyakara, the commentators, they have mentioned that I am your dear friend. Why are you suggesting to me that I have to go on a thorny path? So that is the question. So mohayasi iva me buddhim. By what? By vakyana. What type of vakya? Vyamishrena iva. As though conflicting, as though contradicting. Then what else? This is a complete sentence in itself. Then in continuation there is another sentence. What is that? Vada. Tell me. Tell what? Ekam. Tat ekam. One. Between those two, jnana path and also this path of karma, ekam, that is one, nishchitya. Nishchitya means having decided. Having decided, that is having firmly thought of, vichintya, nishchitya, vichintya, samyag alochya, all those words can be used. Samyag alochya, it is called a lyap pratyaya. Nishchitya, the pratyaya here is lyap. Lyap pratyaya. Of course, this pratyaya, etc., it may not be needed for you. I am just telling. Nishchitya, vichintya, alochya. So all those things, they are called lyap pratyaya. Nishchitya means having decided, having properly deliberated. You have told two paths. Then ekam vada nishchitya. Having decided, you take a decision, and then tell me. Ekam vada nishchitya. For what? Yena, that is by which aham, I, shreyaha apnuyam. Shreyaha means the highest, the supreme. Shreyas. Shreyas is highest, isn't it? By which aham, I, will attain apnuyam. Apnuyam means I shall attain. Apnuyam is vidhiling. Apnuyam, apnoti dhatu. Apnoti is the verb. For that apnoti verb, it is apnuyam. I will attain. Shreyaha. Shreyaha means I will attain that highest thing. Aham apnuyam shreyaha. Even this here, the number also can be changed. You can either say shreyaha apnuyam or apnuyam shreyaha. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You see, in Sanskrit, the interchange of words will not change the meaning. Suppose I write one statement like this. Suppose I say, is it seen in that thing?
Yes, sir.
Is it seen?
Yeah.
What is this? Ramena phalam khaditam. That is, fruit has been eaten by Rama. This fruit, phalam means fruit, khaditam means has been eaten by Rama. This is the statement, suppose you say. Then suppose you bring this phalam here, phalam ramena khaditam. Khaditam ramena phalam. Phalam khaditam ramena. You change in any other manner, the word, the meaning will not change. Because, why? Because this ramena has already undergone change. This word ramena, the declension of the word Rama is built into that. Ramena is instrumental case. By Rama, it is fixed there. Then phalam, it is also fixed there. Phalam is not in, say, nominative case. It is in objective case or accusative case. Phalam khaditam. Yeah, it is, of course, it is a nominative case only. Phalam khaditam. By Rama, phalam has been eaten. Khaditam. It has been eaten. That also is built in there. But in English, suppose you say, a fruit has been eaten by Rama. If you change the words, Rama has been eaten by the fruit, it will come. So, if you change the words Rama and fruit, it will become Rama has been eaten by the fruit. It will come like that. That is because it is not built into that word. But here, this declension is built into the word. Ramena, Ramabhyam, Ramaihi, etc., they are called declensions, we know that. So this declension is built into that, so it doesn't change. So here, whether you put it here, Shreyo aham apnuyam, Shreyaha aham apnuyam, whatever you meaning you say, it doesn't matter. So long as you catch the verb, and then so long as you have decided what is the final meaning. You have arrived at the final meaning. So here, if you want to repeat, Nishchitya means?
Forgotten to give the number. Nishchitya should be number 3.
Tad ekam vada nishchitya. Tad ekam vada ekam nishchitya. Moodu. Yeah, this is 3. This 4 should be here. Yeah, you are right. I have forgotten about this. 4. Then 5. 6 and then 7. So in this manner. So here if we just repeat. So mohayasi iva, you are deluding. Whom? Me buddhim, you are deluding my intellect. By doing what? By some vakyena, by some statement. And what type of statement is that? Vyamishrena iva, that again as though mixed up, as though contradictory. So that sort of thing is Vyamishrena, as though contradictory. Then, okay, you have done that. Then what do I want? I want vada, tell me. Vada means tell me. That is, what is this vada? It is lot for vadati, imperative. It is imperative for vada, vadadhatu, vadati, vada, tvam vada, aham vada, vadani. So, saha vadatu. If you talk about that saha vadatu, aham vadani, tvam vada, so it is that. So vada means you tell, that is imperative. By doing what? Ekam nishchitya, having decided on one. Having decided on one. In fact, this nishchitya also can be given number 2 because having decided you tell me. This also can be number 3. So, having decided, tad ekam vada nishchitya, having decided you tell me. Tell me one only. Then for what? By which? Yena means by which. This is trutiya for yat. Like tat, the trutiya is tena. For yat, the trutiya is yena. By which aham shreyaha apnuyam, I will attain the supreme. So, this is the thing. Shreyas is one word which we have to see here. Shreyaha here refers to, in Vedanta, whenever somebody says Shreya, it refers to the supreme, attainable thing. That is moksha or liberation. So, if jnanapat is leading to liberation, and if karma is not directly leading to liberation, you decide and tell me. Having decided, you tell me one thing by which I can attain that Shreyas. Of course, Krishna is going to reply, okay, no doubt there are 2 paths. but then you are right now qualified for this. You have to do this undergrad first, and then only after this undergrad you can go to this postgraduate class. So only when you do your bachelor's you can go to your master's. So karma path is something like your bachelor's. So you have to undergo all that purification of mind, etc. So this purification of mind is something which is a prerequisite, which is needed in order to understand that jnana class. So you first of all you train yourself in this class, then you go into the higher class. That's what Krishna is going to say. So is this shloka clear? So what is the time left?
We have 15 minutes now.
15 minutes means I will take up one more shloka, but then I have to wipe it out and then write another shloka. So this is the statement by Krishna. The next statement is by Krishna. So instead of this, maybe it is better to write on white sheets and then flip, so that we can save some time. So the next shloka is, this is Krishna. Krishna is saying, Lokesmin dvividha nishtha pura proktamayanaha. So I will write. Is the camera catching up to that point? By Maya Maya Anagha Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam. So luckily it is done fast. My handwriting may not be good because I wrote fast. So this is Lokesmin dvividha nishtha pura prokta mayanagha jnana yogena sankhyanam. This I have to complete like this. Sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. So this is the line. So here, first, what is the first thing we have to do? We have to let us split up. Lokesmin. So this symbol is called avagraha, sometimes called akara praslesha. Both ways you can say avagraha or akara plus praslesha. It means that there is one a which is hidden here. This akara praslesha means it is something which is hidden here. It is embraced by one akara. It is what praslesha actually means. It is embraced by one akara. So that is the literal meaning. It is otherwise called avagraha. So we have to write Loke asmin. Loke asmin. So this is it. Dvividha, there is no division. Dvi plus vidha you can do like that, but it doesn't matter. Trividha, ekadha, panchadha, it doesn't divide. Nishtha, pura, prokta. So this mayanagha we have to do. Maya Anagha. Then Jnana Yogena does not split. Sankhyanam, Karma Yogena, Yoginam. These are independent words. So now we have to see the connection. So there is one Sambodhana. Hey Anagha. Hey Anagha is the Sambodhana. Let us take it out. Hey Anagha. O sinless one. That is the meaning. Agha. Agha means papam. Anagha means na plus agha becomes anagha. Na plus agha becomes anagha. Na is the same as English no. Na plus agha becomes anagha. That is that the word undergoes some change. It does not say nanagha or something like that. It undergoes change and it becomes anagha. That na comes in between. So anagha, that means oh sinless one. Oh, you are just is the normal course. You find so many adjectives like this, so many appellations used for Krishna by Arjuna, so many appellations by Krishna to Arjuna and Arjuna to Krishna. Sometimes Krishna says, "Hey Parantapa." Parantapa means vanquisher of the enemies. Paran tapayati iti parantapaha. So we may know the general meaning, though we need not go deep into that. So Anagha, in what manner is he sinless? We need not go into all that. He says, O commendable person, a person of great character. So that is what it means, O person of great character. Then, where is the verb? Loke asmin dvividha nishta pura prokta. Prokta is the verb. Prokta means told. So this prokta. So what has been told? Something has gone?
No. Mark it with
Yeah, marker. This, yeah, it is kept here. So the verb, what is the verb here? Prokta. That is, it is told. Prokta means something has been told. What has been told? Nishtha. Nishtha has been told. Nishtha means some dedication. Nishtha means a dedicated pursuit of an ideal is called Nishtha. It may be Jnana Nishtha, means a dedicated pursuit of that Jnana path is called Jnana Nishtha. Dedicated pursuit of karma is called Karma Nishtha. So, dedicated pursuit, adherence to your principle, adherence to your ideal, it is called Nishtha. So, some Nishtha has been told. What type of Nishtha? That is Dvividha Nishtha has been told. Twofold Nishtha. Dvividha means twofold. Trividha means threefold. Chaturdha means fourfold. Panchadha means fivefold. So like that. So Dvividha Nishtha, twofold Nishtha. When was it told? Pura. So this order can slightly change. I am just putting the questions in order to link up the words. So Pura Prokta. When was it told? Long ago. Pura, long ago it was told. By whom? Maya Prokta. You see, Maya, by me. You see, something has been told. What has been told? Nishtha has been told. You see, Nishtha has been told. And what type of Nishtha? Vividha Nishtha, twofold Nishtha. And when was it told? Pura Prokta. And then by whom was it told? Maya Prokta. Then where was it told? Asmin Loke, in this Loka. And this for the benefit of this world. Lokesmin means in this Loka. That means in this world, means for the benefit of this world. I had earlier told two Nishtas. Then what is that Nishtha? He is going to explain in the second line. So in the second line, are there any verbs? Let us see. Jnana Yogena, it is not a verb. Sankhyanam, Karma Yogena, Yoginam, there is no verb. So which means the first line is connecting to this thing. So what is this? What is that Nishtha he is explaining in this second line? Jnana Yogena Nishtha. Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam means Jnana Yogena Nishtha. Let us give independent separate numbers here. Jnana Yogena Nishtha is understood here. Sankhyanam. So for the Sankhyanam means for those people who are in the path of Sankhya. Sankhyanam means Sankhyaha means Sankhyam means knowledge. Sankhyaha, difference between Sankhyam and Sankhyaha. Sankhyam means knowledge. Sankhyaha means somebody who is in that path of knowledge. So Sankhyanam is what? Ramanam, like Ramanam, Ramasya Ramayoha Ramanam. So Sankhyasya Sankhyayoha Sankhyanam. So Sankhyanam is Shashti Bahuvachanam. Shashti means that is called a generative case or possessive case. Bahuvachanam is plural. So this is Sankhyanam. For those who are in the path of Jnana, I have told Jnana Yogena Nishtha. This adherence to Jnana path. Nishtha is adherence to Jnana path, pursuit of that Jnana path. Then for the Yoginam, for this Yoginam, Karma Yogena Nishtha, okay, let us do it this way, it doesn't matter. Karma Yogena Nishtha, Nishtha is understood. Karma Yogena Nishtha. Karma Yogena Nishtha means that adherence to the path of, say, karma. To whom has it been told? For the yogis. Yoginam. What is the word there? Base word there. Base word is yogi. Something like guni, guninav, guninaha. You remember that guni, guninav, guninaha? So it declines like that. In the same manner it declines. Guninah, Guninoh, Guninam is Shashti, isn't it? So Yoginah, Yoginoh, Yoginam is Shashti Bahuvachanam, isn't it? So Yoginam, Aham, Karma Yogena Nishtha Proktavan, Aham, Sankhyanam, Jnana Yogena Nishtham Proktavan. Aham Proktavan. If I want to use my, in that direct sentence, it is direct way, I should say Aham Proktavan. Otherwise I have to say Jnana Yogena Nishtha Yoginam Prokta Maya. Maya means by me. Maya Pura Jnana Yogena Nishtha Sankhyanam Prokta. Maya Karma Yogena Nishtha Yoginam Prokta. Pura Prokta. Kutra Prokta. Asmin Loke Prokta. What type of Nishtha? Dvividha Nishtha. So this is the Anvaya for this second shloka, third shloka. Is it? Yeah, verse 3. So we'll go to the next verse in the next class. Thank you.